What is up, everybody? My name is Justin, Forever Self-Employed, all about pressure washing and quote IQ. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to land big jobs. I got a bunch of like really great stuff to bring you guys through in this one. Mike is just here for show. Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm just here for show.
Mike's going to sit here and look pretty. He's not great at it, but he's better.
I've been working at it my entire life. I've not really done. There are some things that you just have to try again. And
I
gosh
had
darn it.
Chris on yesterday, and I got to be honest, Mike looks better than Chris, and I don't swing that way. If you do, there's nothing against that, but for me,
I disagree. I think that we have got two gentlemen in our command center that are quite handsome with their beards. We've got Mitch, right? Like Mitch's beard is on point, and Chris has got a beard for the ages. I do not.
Let's get weird and talk about Chris's beard. That should have been the topic of today's video. I'm just kidding. We're going to be talking about landing big jobs. We have one person with us. David Allen is with us. Me and Mike like to have some fun. Mike's actually been trying some different things with his shorts, so you guys will see that coming. It already came out yesterday. If you guys haven't seen it already,
I dropped two fascinating new videos, some different techniques that I'm trying to play with.
A lot of fun stuff. For you guys who didn't know, me and Mike are actually doing some one-on-one coaching right now. I'm going to pop up, a testimonial right here. Yes, sir. You just helped me secure a $10,000 deal. Already multiplied his investment, and it's only day one. So you guys weren't lying. You are the best. This is not fake, by the way. This is he actually commented on one of my videos. This is Kurt. He landed a $10,000 job after the first coaching call. So pretty impressive.
Well, I'm gonna. Kurt was just texting me right now. I'm gonna say we are live right now.
Absolutely, he might hop in here and tell us about it. So, if you're looking for one-on-one coaching with myself and Mike, accountability, really looking to scale your lead flow. If you're looking to scale your business up, you know what I mean, and not work like Mike does, and just kind of run the business from the office. That's
Well, I take actually great offense to what you just said. You said don't work like Mike.
Well, Mike works, just not in the same sense as maybe other people. You know what I mean?
Well, and what's funny is there are so many guys that get so upset, and they'll we were just talking about it yesterday. I was in a Facebook group, which I very rarely do, but I'll go in and I'll put my videos that I think people could benefit from, and these guys went absolute apeshit. It was the one where I was talking about water, right? Like how to, and the titles of these videos, they're intended to get, people to watch them. And it was something to the degree, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like how I talk my customers into using their water. And like all of these geniuses in these groups are like, what do you mean? Talk them into it. I've never had to talk a customer into it. Well, watch the video, because the video talked about water usage, water consumption, the cost of water, because most people, they don't understand how water is actually, how they're charged for it, right? And, there are national averages, and we have a free water usage guide that I put together that, that was kind of the premise of the video. If, you guys want to get this free water usage guide with all of the nomenclature that I use when it does come up. I've never once asked in our 22 years of running a pressure washing business, can I use your water? No. Because we are going to use your water. And if we don't use your water, you're not going to be our customer. But there is a time, and if you're in the business for any amount of time, you're going to have a potential customer say, hey, do you guys use my water? And then you're going to say, well, yes, of course. And then they're going to say, well, do I get a discount? Well, no, you don't get a discount. Just like you don't get a discount when the dog groomer comes and they use your water or your electricity or whatever the case is. So,
did your dog groomer come to your house, Mike?
Well, yeah. How else would you have your pets manicured and groomed?
Manicured. I love that. I don't know. But if you ever had a cleaning lady, then that would be like telling them to bring their own electricity.
Well, I do discount the cleaning lady if she uses our water or our electricity.
Okay. So she gets billed, essentially, is what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. She discounts for the water that she uses 3 pennies. Because that's all it would take. People are morons. And so it's our job as business owners to educate them on, some of the nuances of what we do, because not everybody understands that, you're not going to bring, 800 gallons of water or 1,500 gallons of water, whatever it takes. So
Yeah, this gentleman was he was an angry fella about his water in particular. And so if you guys haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. And if you want to make a lot of money like our boy Kurt here, then check out the first link in the comment section description, me and Mike's one-on-one coaching. Now, I can't promise that Mike will be behaved because honestly, Mike has never been behaved in his life, and he will probably lose it on you a time or two, but only to help you. Yeah. So it's good stuff. It's really cool to be able to look in the eyes of, the people who actually watch these videos and kind of, go back and forth with them, help them build their business. And we're really excited, for this coaching group that we have to kind of show you guys what comes out of it, just like Kurt's $10,000 win. So a couple of people in the chat, we got our boy Chris, the striping guy. What's up from Oklahoma? If you guys ever think about adding striping to your business, be sure to check out Chris. He is the go-to for anything striping related. Mike, would you ever add striping to your business or no?
No, 10 years ago, probably so. But, my business is where it's going to be right now. I have no intention of growing it in capacity. We're very comfortable. I've got, a couple guys, we've got a couple trailers, we've got a great book of business. I don't want to say it's on cruise control, but also, and that was the whole point is of that,
monologue
into the Facebook group is a lot of those guys, they get upset and they're like, well, if this guy knew so much, he would be out there washing. Well, no, dumbass. I know a lot, so I don't have to be out there washing. I've built a business to where it does not involve me being on the ground every single day doing the labor. Initially, that's something that is very important when you're starting a business. You have to understand, you have to be able to run your business. But, as the business evolves, if it's the choice that you are wanting to make, you may choose to be on the truck at 90 years old washing. That wasn't the route that I wanted to take. I wanted to take the route where I created a business where I could manage, I could do the sales, I could do the marketing, I could do all of the things that I excel at, and I could have employees that actually do the labor. Nobody got mad at Ray Kroc because he wasn't flipping burgers. Nobody get mad at Jeff Bezos because he wasn't the guy delivering your package, right? So, be smarter, gentlemen. And I know you watch this because you guys are obsessed with me, and it's disgusting, you little dirty pigs.
That was really good, Mike. I actually enjoyed that one. We have to think about the scalability of things, right? And freedom within why we even started a business in the first place, right? So our first step would be to work for somebody else, right? So 9 to 5. And then the next step would be like, okay, we want to make more money. We want to control our time, things of that nature. So then we start our own business, right? And then we're working on our business. But then you realize that there's a cap on how much effort you can put in every day. And so you say, okay, how do I remove myself from the business and then have employees running it? And that's where Mike has gotten himself to. And that's the basically ladder of freedom. So if you want to find the most freedom in your business, then find employees that can do some work. So it's also an incredible skill, being able to relinquish control of the day-to-day activities, knowing that every house is washed to your specific whatever, knowing that every customer was serviced properly. You got to be able to trust your employees, and I think it takes a huge leap of faith. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
Huge leap of faith. And that's one of the biggest hurdles that, owner operators have to overcome when they decide to take that step. And that is to relinquish the fact that they are not going to be the ones, out there being the face of the company, doing the work, handling the equipment, managing customer expectations on the job. There are a lot of things which take a lot of training on the owner's part to get the employees up to speed on the way that they want things run, the way they want things done. And because of that, a lot of guys, they can't get past that. They will be on the truck forever because they can't let go of the fact that nobody is going to do it as good as you do it. I've talked about this before on multiple other videos that we've made, where that's people can't let go. And if you want to get to a point where you're not, out there every single day, then you're going to have to relinquish that. And it does take a little bit of a shift in your mindset. But once you make that shift, then it's a lot easier to focus on bigger picture things that can actually grow the business, scale the business. And it doesn't have to be scaling in people or machines or equipment. You can scale in lots of different ways. And that's why I say that, I'm at the point now with everything in my life where I don't necessarily want to grow the business any more than it already is. It's a significant business, and we make a tremendous amount of money, and the profit margins are ridiculously high. And I've got really great employees, and because of all those things, I'm okay with where it's at. And I don't want to say that it's on cruise control, because by no means can any business ever be on cruise control. But it's to a point now where I'm very comfortable in the operational side of things, where I do not have to be involved in the daily operations unless I choose to be. And that's typically when I go and I film and I, do stuff like that. But yeah, so
I like how you said scaling looks different for all kinds of people. We have a guy that we've done coaching for before in Glenn Jernigan, right? Glenn
yeah.
Jernigan actually teaches our Christmas lighting boot camp. So if you guys are looking to add another service in to your business, check out the Christmas lighting boot camp. It's on pwcourse.com. But essentially, he scaled in a different way. So he's got so much business now that he has other people working for him. He offers the Christmas lighting in the winter, and then he takes off 2 months at the beginning of every year, just because that's the way he wanted to scale. He just wants to take time off, and he wants to enjoy, his family, and he wants to enjoy the money that he made from Christmas lighting and everything else. And when you're able to, figure out these things and put these things in place, you're able to kind of control your time, control, when you work and all these other things, and kind of call the shots for yourself. So that's basically what we try to give you guys, the keys to the kingdom with regards to that. Jack says some people's water situations are different. Nobody's going to let you use 800 gallons of water off of their well. You could burn up their pump.
And those are probably people that you choose not to work with, right?
Because they're Amish. I'm just kidding.
Well, there are a lot of people that are on wells, and that can be a significant issue. And so those people most likely are going to have really dirty houses.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Amish. We actually love them. They move houses by just with a group of them.
Justin is actually 3/5 Amish.
Yeah, I am. A majority of who I am is Amish. So I didn't want to disclose that on the internet, but it looks like that already
with
happened.
The exception of electricity and modern convenience. Those are that's the other fractions that he left with the Amish folk.
That's true. I like those modern conveniences. Hugh Murphy says, thanks, Mike. Love from Toronto. It's always good to get love from Toronto. I've heard of you work for someone else, you don't make money. What say y'all?
I've heard of you work for somebody else, you don't make money. Yeah, I agree. For the better portion of my adult life, I also had a full-time position as a sales manager, territory manager, whatever that you want to call it, for a couple different companies, a Fortune 50 company, a giant company that I started with about 2 years out of college. And then from there, I left them about 12, 13 years later and went to go work for a company on the West Coast, same industry, same customer base, same geographical region that I was responsible for. And I would sell about between 16 to $24 million a year of the product that we sold to my customer base. And I was making that company a tremendous amount of money, like crazy amounts of money. And I was well compensated, and there was great, bonuses, and there was great, insurance and 401k and all of these other things. But, always in the back of my mind, I was making everybody else a shit ton more money than I was making myself. And while I was being handsomely compensated, I thought I wasn't being compensated enough. And that's something that you run into with all employees everywhere. I've talked about it again, on the channel about, I don't like my employees to have access to, what every job costs, because they will start thinking the same thing. And what I didn't realize then, and what I realize now as a business owner, is there is a lot to be said for the people that are running the business, the people that have taken the risk, the people that have invested the time, the energy, and the money to build the business, to continue to invest in the marketing, to keep employees busy, right? All of these things you don't see when you're out there, being the employee. And as an employee, it's a hard thing to deal with, especially when you see how much money you're making somebody else. So yeah, you will never make as much money working for somebody else as you do yourself. And that's why I no longer work for anybody else.
Another thing to consider, right? At least in the beginning of your business, working for someone else will provide you stability in, running a business for yourself is a lot of hard
100%.
work. It's very hard. So having that stability, having that, income, I think is a great way to go for guys. And I think too many guys try to get away from that too quickly. Rely on the stability, build your business on the side, and then when your business scales up to a level where it can sustain itself, then you're ready to switch.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Great point, Justin.
thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. Randall says, getting started in Houston, looking to scale up quickly. Randall, if you want coaching from me and Mike, check out the first link in the comment section description. We'll coach you in person, look you in the face. Not in person. It's over Zoom, but still, we'll hold you accountable. We'll give you all the steps. Our biggest thing with the coaching is we like to take away all the fluff. We like to give you direct directions every single week so we know exactly what you need to do. We're giving you the blueprint. And so be sure to check that out. That's why I quit doing high-rise window cleaning. Mike, thank you for the advice in the group this week. It's been very helpful. We appreciate you, Tyler. Thanks, man. David says thanks. Okay, I want to run through some stuff with regards to how we land big jobs, right? How we land big commercial properties. And the first point that I have for you guys is that you need to be ready, okay? So I think a lot of people in their head, they're like, I want to make a bunch of money. Being ready is another thing, right? Do you have the insurance? Do you have an LLC? What are some other things that you need to have in order to be ready, Mike? The right equipment. Oh, you're muted.
I apologize, Justin. Other things that you need in order to start a business?
No, just so like we're kind of moving on into the how to land big job segment. So the first step is just to be ready, right? People like they see us landing these big jobs, they're like, man, I'd love to make all this money, but if you're not ready in the first place, when that job comes, you're gonna blow it, right? So things you need in order to be ready. You need to make sure you get the licensing, make sure that you got the insurance, make sure that you got at least proper enough equipment. We're not telling you guys to run out and spend tens of thousands of dollars, but be in the right mental headspace. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. In my opinion, when you start going after these big jobs, the biggest and most important thing that you can have on your side is confidence, right? Confidence in yourself, confidence in your ability to talk to potential customers about your service, the value that you offer. And you have to convey with confidence the fact that you are going to be able to meet their needs, exceed their expectations, because what happens is a lot of guys without the confidence and without a lot of experience, they go into these situations with, a maintenance facilities manager or a property manager, a community manager, an HOA president. And, you're talking about large jobs, $40,000, $20,000, whatever the case is. And in some cases, $5,000 may be a big job. $10,000 may be a big job. But if you go in there, thinking that, oh, I'm brand new, I'm just getting started. I don't, I've only got this equipment, like flush that all out and walk in strong, tall, proud, own the room, walk in with confidence. You're the expert. They called you, and go in there and convey, all of the value with confidence that you provide. And that alone is going to set you apart from 90% of your competition. And walk in and look professional, right? Walk in. You don't have to be wearing a suit, for God's sakes, but walk in a nice polo, a company shirt, right? Don't stink, right? Don't reek of cigarettes. I mean, I actually went on a job, a quote about, I guess it was last week, and it ended up being, I think I quoted like $22,000, and I'm pretty sure that we'll get it. But the lady that I met, there's a series of questions that I go through, and I walk through the customer and ask them, and these, I've mentioned it before. These are the questions that basically give me all the information that I need in order to figure out where we're at, if it's, where the price is going to be, because it's not just a square foot number. In a lot of cases, there's a lot of other components. And one of the components is, when you're dealing with large numbers in most commercial jobs, they are going to require at least 3 estimates, right? And I'd asked, has anybody else come? And she said, yeah. She goes, but the dude reeked of cigarettes. And I have been doing this a long time, and nobody has ever complained about a smell, right? But it was just so funny that it's something to think about. Look, if you smoke, okay, that's cool. But like, if you're going into a meeting, you don't want to have anything going on with you whether it's the way that you look, the way that you're dressed, the way that you present yourself, that is going to appall somebody, right? And that guy will not get the job because he stunk. And she said that. It was crazy. But these are things that everybody needs to be aware of. So that's about it.
Okay, sweet. Mike, I had a whole bunch of points and I was trying to keep us organized with this, but that was a really great story.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Justin.
Okay, sweet. So the first one is just to be ready, right? I like what you said, Mike. I like how you said be knowledgeable, right? Because when you walk the site with the whoever it is that you're walking the site with, you need to be able to speak to certain terminologies and certain things that make you seem like a subject matter expert. So that way they're ready to abdicate authority to you. So that's beautiful, knowing what you're talking about first and foremost, and then momentum, right? If you can't walk a property with Miss Shirley and land her $400 house wash, what makes you think you're going to go walk a property with, an apartment complex and land a $40,000 job? So make sure you get that momentum on your side. Make sure you're going out there quoting, speaking with customers, finding out the things, that you need to say. That's one of the things that me and Mike get a lot into with our one-on-ones is like all the things that Mike says within his commercial script, because Mike has been refining this commercial script over 20 years and it's absolute gold. Like the things that he's able to pick out just gives him a competitive advantage. And that's something we're going to talk about here in a second. But Mike, when it comes to landing these really big jobs, the next thing is kind of positioning, right? If we're not in front of the right people that are looking for the service to be done, we'll never get the call. So how important is, positioning your business?
Well, positioning your business for either residential, commercial, industrial, whatever segment of the market you're trying to attack, it's absolutely critical. And it starts with the basics, right? The bare minimum. And it would surprise you how many of these leads that we get for these big jobs come from Google, right? There's no like secret source of pressure washing companies that like property management or facility managers go to and they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the special place. No, they type in pressure washers near me, and guess who pops up? The people that put in the work, the people that have got old websites, people that have got good websites, people that are writing blogs and are populating their GMB and doing all of the things that need to be done in order to get your information, your business, your website ranking high in front of those people that are searching for people like you. And so that's the positioning, in my opinion, that is probably one of the most important things.
Kurt says, stop talking about me.
Yeah. So he was texting me, dude. He said, is everything cool? Because his wife's car just got hit. They're at the beach and somebody hit his wife's car.
That's terrible, Kurt. We're sorry to hear that, man. But we can't wait to see you on the next call. Our next call's, well, I can tell you guys, but I'm not going to tell you. So we'll see Kurt on the next call. Okay, so be ready, right? Have the right equipment, have the knowledge, build the momentum. The next thing is positioning. Be in the right place when these people are actively looking, and that's something that me and Mike go deep into on our one-on-one coaching. But the next one is don't get too excited, right, Mike? How many people count the chickens before they hatch? How many people are like, man, I still do it to this day. We had it was like a $20,000 hospital cleaning that I thought we were going to land. Never got a call back. So how big of a deal is it to not get too excited on some of these quotes you're doing?
Well, I mean, all it's going to do is it's going to mess with your head. And the way that I look at things like this is, and we talk about it a lot, is, when you're in sales, and everybody that's watching this that is a business owner is in sales, right? You own a pressure washing business, you own a lawn care company, you own this, that, or the other. Ultimately, you are in sales. You have to sell your services in order for your business to continue to be a business. And so what I'd say all the time is you are going to hear no a lot. No is going to be probably the most prominent word that you hear from clients, potential clients, and potential customers, because it's just part of the game, right? You have to learn how to, hear no and not get depressed and down on yourself and think you suck, because it's just a numbers game. The more you approach people, the more you get out there, the more you get your information out in front of people, the more no's you're going to get. It's as simple as that. But you're going to hear no. So you're already going to be like, oh man, like another no, I didn't get that job. I didn't get this job. And I hear guys all the time talking about all the shit they didn't get. Who cares? You didn't get it. Move on. Conversely, don't get all excited about jobs that you think you're going to get, or, you submitted a quote. I don't care about how many quotes that you give. Yes, give as many quotes as you can, but until they start converting, it doesn't matter, right? Those are the numbers that matter. That close ratio is what matters. Giving a lot of quotes is great for your business. It gives you a lot of experience in getting out in front of people and learning the things to say, what to listen for. And that's the key, is listen. But all of those quotes eventually are going to lead to these jobs. But like Justin said, don't count your chickens before they hatch, because a lot of times they're never going to hatch, and then it's just going to end up being disappointment for you.
Sometimes they won't even tell you no, too. Like, that's the most annoying thing for me. Like, when they like, you follow up and you're like, hey, did you guys find anybody? And then you don't hear anything back, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna assume.
But what Justin said is the key. He follows up, and that's probably one of the biggest things that people fail at in their business, and they fail at this. And it is detrimental to your bottom line. If you're not following up with every single customer, then you're wrong, right? In Quote IQ, we built, and don't pull it up, Justin, but in Quote IQ, in our email sequences, we pulled up, or we built it's a sequence, right? And it goes from estimates to pending to scheduled and declined, and then that's it for those. And so anytime I've got any number, because there's like, the parentheses with the little number, if there is a number in the pending, I haven't done my job, right? Because I need to follow up with them and either get them into a declined, which I don't like, or a scheduled. But it's all in the follow-up. And we built sequences into our email automation to do that follow-up for you, because everybody's out there working, busting their ass all day, and we're going to forget these things. So if you can automate things in your business to make things more streamlined and make your business better, because you don't have to babysit every single step, then that's what you want to do.
Absolutely. JB says, I suck at follow-ups. That's because they're not automated. It's also because you don't have big enough jobs. If you had a big enough job on the hook, you would be the best at follow-ups, because it's like, dude, if we land this, it's like 20 grand.
I don't know. Like, I don't even care. I'm relentless. And with just sales in general, it's my passion. I love the game. And even if it's a $500, $600 house wash, like, I've got the email and the text automation set up, but if I go through Quote IQ and I'm looking at jobs that haven't been scheduled, I'll pull out, because I can just like click a little button, hold long press the phone number, and it gives me the option to text them. And I just text them. I've got an automated thing on my text. It's like, hey, this is Mike with All American Pressure Cleaning. I see you haven't canceled yet. Just wanted to know what day works best for you to get on the schedule. Or, let me know when you're, and I'm not asking them a yes or no question. I'm asking them, which day works best, which day next week works best.
Assuming the close. Can't give away too much, but hey, look, some high-level sales tactics. I mean, look, when you're dealing with the top 1% of companies, you know what I mean? They do the top 1% stuff. And if you want to be, there, then you got to get ready to follow up. And JB says, well, I get reluctant to follow up on bigger jobs. He doesn't know why. And it's probably because you don't feel like you deserve to land it. And so that's something you need to, look at within yourself. Mindset. Exactly. So, right, Mike, you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay. So, you don't know why you want to follow up? I mean, dude, I'd follow up until they say no, or you pass.
Or call the police.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good one. How did you two pair up, become friends for this business?
Well, let me first say that we are not friends.
Yeah, that's good, Mike.
No, I'm kidding. Justin is my best friend in the entire world.
Yes.
In fact, he's actually my only friend other than those outside of my home, my family, my immediate family. Because there are some people in my family that they're not even my friends. But
and I think we can attribute that to Mike's, very sweet demeanor.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually, what's funny, Justin, is I've never actually considered that I was the reason that I didn't have friends. I always thought it was my choice. But
right.
Now, wow, this has been a big day for me.
Well, we're really learning a lot about Mike here.
I'm learning a lot about myself.
I'll be honest with you guys. The older you get and the more successful you get, the more that you kind of lose friends, right? Because then it kind of becomes, why am I really having these friends, right? What needs do they fulfill for me? You know what I mean? And what are they rubbing off on me? because at the end of the day, you want to surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. And I think that's ultimately why me and Mike came together, because we're so like-minded and we're always trying to build and grow and do all these things. And we bring each other up levels, like literally. I think we make each other better. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
100%. And you nailed it. Like, you have to really evaluate who you're surrounding yourself with, because I'm sure that there are people in your life that aren't good for you. There are people in your life that are dragging you down. There are people in your life that are negative or lazy or aren't contributing. And you have to just get those people out of your life. Jettison them. What's the word? Jettison? Jettison them. Get them out, kick them to the curb, whatever the case is, because you're not going to benefit, right? There's no benefit to having people like this surround you. And what's funny, and you said something, Justin, and it was something that my mom used to get so mad at me for saying when I was younger. And I would say, I have no use for them, right? That was my terminology when she'd be like, oh, why don't you want to have so-and-so come over? And I said, well, I have no use for them. And she's like, that's a terrible way to say something. And you shouldn't say that out loud, because you're saying like, you only care about people that are useful for you. And I was like, yes, mother, that is exactly what I am saying. They are of no use to me, and I do not want to waste my time. Even as a young lad, I had the same mentality, and it is what it is. So
I don't think it's a selfish thing. I think it's more selective, right? At the end of the day, why do we do anything? For the payoff, right? And so when we look at our relationships in a similar fashion, what's the payoff that we're actually getting from this person? And if the payoff that we're getting is more of their drama and more of their excuses and more of them, feeding off of our own energy, then that's somebody that we don't really want to surround ourselves with. So now, if the payoff is somebody building us up, somebody making us better, somebody making us more successful, then that's a really good relationship. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
Yep.
So,
yeah. And so how did we get like the origin story of Justin and Mike? Gosh, I mean, I don't
you
even,
DM me, Mike. Remember? I think you DM me on Instagram and said we should do a video collab.
yeah, because I had like 3 followers, and Justin was going to be of use to me.
That's right. He was going to use me for my following, and we see what
And it
happened.
never actually panned out. I had to do it all on my own.
Anyway, that was a good one. There's a different version of the story, but I don't think it's YouTube appropriate. So I'm just kidding.
We can rewrite our own.
Yeah. Maybe we'll sell the rights to this later. We only get one shot at life. Work to live, don't live to work. I like it.
Although, what is it? Work to live, don't live to work.
Well, when you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
And my wife gets so mad because, like, I absolutely love what I do. I am so passionate about what I do, right? Whether it's making videos for, you guys, helping people grow their businesses, or it's, building stuff like How to Wash or Local Dom 2 or the Christmas Light Boot Camp, or doing the one-on-one training that we're doing. Like, I've got guys like Kurt, and there's a couple others that are texting me, and they're like, big win, big win. We're doing this. I just talked to this person. It's I love it. I absolutely love it. And when you have such passion for what you do, then it makes work not work, and it just makes it fun. And like, I spend so much time involved and investing that time into all of the things that I do. And yeah, it's like when you love it and you're passionate about it, it's not work at all, which is so cool.
Me and Mike talked to a guy that was depressed last week. He was depressed. He was in his house. He wasn't doing anything to get jobs, and he felt like everything was kind of coming to an end for him. He just texted me, Mike, and he said this week he landed a $400 job. And like, he had nothing going for him. He wasn't moving in any direction. And, we hopped on the phone with him. We gave him exactly what to do. And, he's already got a $400 job in the book. So I look forward to bringing you guys the rest of that story. But it just goes to show, man, like, we love this stuff, and we take it so serious, and we're able to make a difference. So, when you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's why me and Mike work every single day, because we just can't get enough of it. So fun.
Yeah. My wife
Maybe
makes me
wait,
stop.
say it again.
Well, yeah, like Justin knows, like if it's after 6 p.m., he's like, hey, can I call you? No.
I like tell Chris. Oh, well, tell whoever. Anyway, all right. Maybe Smile said, "What's good forever?" and Mike, my favorite duo on the net. We really appreciate that. $4.99 super. And he got another $4.99 super. Hey, Mike, can we connect? I want to talk business with you. TIA. Tia? Thank
TIA.
you in advance. Is that
Thank
what
you
it
in
is?
advance. Good one.
Okay. If you want to talk business with Mike, I mean, dude, we don't just do business. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Mike.
And this is such a difficult thing because, like, I would love to talk to everybody and I would love to help everybody. But if you saw the amount of emails and messages, DMs, whatever that we get on a daily basis of people, just, hey man, I'm driving through Savannah, or I live in Savannah, or I'd love to get a couple minutes of your time. I'd love to talk, business. I'd love to get some advice, and I would love to, right? And I do a lot of that through all of my the platforms that we're on, all whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube. Like, I put a ton of content out. I put a lot of great information out, and I can't talk to every single person, but like, feel free to get my email address, send me an email, and I'll do my best to get you the answers that you want. But and I hate to always be selling, but like, our time is very valuable. And you just heard me go through about like how much I love working. Well, work entails compensation, right? I don't work for free. And so, there are ways to contact us where, we can spend some time together. But not in, not like, like OnlyFans or anything like that. I don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to get in contact with Mike, I would highly suggest through the one-on-one coaching. The biggest thing is the more successful that you get, the only way to sort through kind of the nonsense is with money. Okay. So, like, for example, right? Let's look at like the most successful people in the world, like Dana White or, Donald Trump or whoever. I mean, they're at such a level where they don't need people's money anymore. But the only way to sort through the nonsense is who brings money to the table. So just for you guys in the future, right now you might be in a place where you don't have a ton of money, you don't have a ton of contacts, you don't have a ton of value that you bring to the table. The more valuable that you become, the more people will be interested in your time. And the only way to sort through those people is who's bringing money to the table. So it made me smile, 2 super chats for $4.99. We really greatly appreciate that. But, anyway, all that to say, the more successful you get, the more selective you have to be with your time and your energy and where you put your focus on things. Because me and Mike have like 30 things. We have like so many things that we could be doing. But anyway, we're on here talking to you guys, and that's what we want to do most. Mike, let's get into the next one. So we need to make sure that we are ready. We need positioning. We don't want to get too excited when these big jobs come in. We want to make sure that we're saying the right things on site when we're walking through, and then we want to make sure that we're following up with the people that we do the work for. Let's get into the next one. The other one is, we recently lost a job because of this. We overpriced just because I thought we had a really good in with the person that we were doing the quote for, and we ended up overshooting the quote pretty heavily. So Mike, can we talk about kind of getting overzealous with our pricing? Have you ever done that?
Oh, all the time. And it's like, maybe it's a little arrogance, maybe it's a little ego, maybe it's a little bit of like, you've got tremendous lead flow and you don't necessarily need every job. And some of those jobs, like, you're like, I don't really want to mess with it, but I will for this price. I mean, those are the ones where, specifically the latter, where, it's something that I'm not terribly interested in doing. I spoke a minute ago about, being I can't even remember where I was going.
Like, what were you even saying before this?
I actually think I just had a stroke, Justin. I had a little aneurysm right up here in my brain.
Dude, there's
And
this guy on the internet, Mike, that can like that. He's like a magician, and he's like, think of your name, and then he'll like grab your head like this and like toss it out, and he's like, now you can't remember your name. Like, the harder you try to search for it, the less you remember it. And then people are like, he's like, what's your name? And they're like,
yeah. Well,
anyway, we were talking about, yeah,
for me, Justin, um, this lapse of memory is a direct result of losing oxygen to my brain when I was in a coma for a month and died and flatlined twice. So people can talk all their smack, but just know that there was a medical reason why I sometimes go bloop, bloop.
like, how many times you got to make us feel bad about you dying?
Well,
Okay.
every time I mess up, like if I make a mistake, I just remind people that, you remember when I died?
Okay. Mike, have you ever overbid anything on purpose and then
Yes.
lost it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, lead flow allows you to do that. Lead flow allows you to do a lot of these things that you probably wouldn't do early on. Like, I don't have a high tolerance for bullshit. I don't have a high tolerance for red flags. I don't have a high tolerance for a lot of things that I did 15 years ago because I needed every job that I could get. Now, as the business grows, you don't have to put up with a bunch of shit. But yeah, I have overbid things intentionally uh, in hopes of not getting the job. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But
That's what it is, right?
yeah,
Brett had a really funny comment. He says the best way to follow Mike is to follow the smoke signal from the trailer fire.
yes.
Pretty good. Pretty good stuff, Brett. We do appreciate that comment. Okay, so don't overprice just because. I mean, you can if you want. If you don't want it, obviously overprice it. The funny thing is the jobs you don't want that you overprice, you usually end up getting, right? That's the only time when you overprice, you actually land it. Like my buddy Chris, right? He overpriced the job. I think he priced something like at 17 grand and it was supposed to be way cheaper. And they're like, yep, you got the job. So,
Well, I felt terrible. The other day, I was coming out of Kroger. Justin, you know the story I'm about to tell. I was coming out of Kroger, which is a grocery store for those of you that don't know what Kroger is. And so I'm coming out of Kroger, and there's a pressure washing trailer and a pressure washing rig. And so I'm driving by and I get to talking with the guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I actually called you a couple weeks ago," and I was like, "Oh." And then he told me what the call was, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't return that call because he was calling me because, excuse me, he got a call from the same people that we did, and it was for like a giant hotel, like downtown. Logistically, it was not anything that I wanted to tackle because, again, I've got the lead flow to where I don't have to take on these jobs that we don't, and so it would have been a nightmare, and it's of no interest to me. And so he told me on the voicemail or the message that that's what he was calling about, and I feel bad. I didn't call him back at all, which was kind of rude because he was trying to like outsource or work together. But I knew the job and I didn't want him. Anyway, that was him. And I was like, yeah, man, I said I quoted that thing like so high that nobody would ever, award us that job. But if they did, then I would, be more than happy to do it at that price. But the point is he didn't want that job. I didn't want that job. And, the way that I got out of it was just by overpricing it. But again, what was interesting was this guy then proceeded to tell me that, he moved down, from Michigan, I believe, if my memory serves me. And he had a business up there, was bringing it down to Savannah. And he, he was a big fan of Justin.
oh, that's really sweet, Mike. He saw how good you were doing. And he said, I want to go steal business from Mike. And Justin's giving me all the secrets to do that. That's pretty
Yes.
good. Smart guy, dude.
Yeah,
Smart
very.
guy. If you tried to come over Mike, you'd be pretty, I don't know, dude. Like when you've been in business for as long as Mike has and you know the things that Mike knows, like you become a little bit untouchable at that point. Now, Mike doesn't care as much, or else I think he could really take over even more. But it's
Oh,
just
well, I mean, the guys in my market are incredibly lucky that we have quote IQ to focus on, that we've got some of these other things, because at the end of the day, if my focus was entirely on the pressure washing business, it would be huge.
which, it would be great, but it's all about where you put your focus, right? That's what really where you get the payoff.
Well, the return on investment is important in every aspect of your life.
So that's a good self-reflection exercise for you guys. Where's your focus? Where's your attention at day in, day out? Because I promise you that's where you're building at. And if your focus is in a negative place, then that's what you're building upon. You know what I mean? That's where you're bringing more of into your life. So, okay. Don't overprice just because. Next one, Mike, when you land it, go above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like you've done 6-figure wash jobs. Would you say that you did a little bit extra in that circumstance, or you were a little bit nicer? Or, you know what I mean, Mike?
Well, I'm always very nice and charming in real life.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
No. When there is when I just saw something, when there is the potential for significant business, then yeah, there's a little bit more effort goes into it. Like I actually show up to do a quote, right? Like that's the effort. I won't do residential quotes. I don't need to do residential quotes. I can handle all that with InstaQuote and doing it via phone. I don't need to go see anything in person. Now, when it's a $50,000-$60,000 job, then by all means I am going to show up, I'm going to be present, I am going to walk on site with confidence, I am going to let them know that we're more than capable and this is why, and then listen. There's a lot to it, but by all means big jobs require more effort.
This next one I'm going to give you guys could make you a lot of money because it's cost us a couple different quotes. And that is, upselling might hurt you if it's all in the same estimate. Like a few times, Mike, we've included like parking lot striping on an estimate with pressure washing. And like it depends on who you're talking to, right? Because you'll talk to somebody and they have to present these quotes to a higher up. And if that does not get translated, your quote now looks like it's massive. And so you put yourself at a disadvantage, in my personal opinion. What are your thoughts on that, Mike?
Yeah, I have never provided a commercial estimate with an upsell ever. And we do tons of jobs. Once you get the job, that's when you can then go, hey, we're going to be there. And I noticed this, or this, because you're absolutely right. I like to keep things very simple, very concise. And I like to, boom, 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 services, bottom line number, because when you're getting bids, you're getting quotes, and you've got a lot of other things going on, this pressure washing quote doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be something that you have to decipher, right? You need to be able to look at it. Okay, yes, this makes sense. We talked about this. Okay, here's the price. That makes sense. This guy was here, this guy was here, and this guy was here. And we're going to go with this guy, right? And believe me, I have seen estimates that are like 6 pages. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody has time. I don't care. I'm going to send all of this information. It's getting thrown away because they're looking at one thing, and that's the bottom line. So don't confuse the estimate with add-ons, because if they don't ask for them, it's not in the budget. And this is not the time nor the place to try to be upselling, in my opinion.
Dang. Okay, so I think that tip alone was worth the time you guys spent watching this video, because that's gonna make you a lot of money. I mean, look at if you quoted a $12,000 job and you upsold $4,000 for the parking lot striping, you've now lost $12,000. But if you watch this video and you don't do any upselling until after you've landed the job, man, you just made yourself a lot of money. So if you guys haven't already, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. I mean, Mike, that was gold right there.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, and we've never really talked about upselling on commercial, so very interesting. The last tip that I have for you guys on how we land big commercial jobs is, and this isn't really how we land them, but it's how we continue to make money off of them. It's reservicing them year over year. So a couple years back, we did a hospital cleaning. Since then, we do all the hospitals under the same umbrella company, and we've made tens of thousands of dollars more. So, Mike, you want to talk a little bit about the importance of staying in contact, following up, things of that nature?
Well, yeah, I mean, we touched on it earlier. I mean, the follow-up is absolutely essential for exactly what Justin's talking about. As important as we think we are, and as great as our business did for whatever customer it is, we're still just a very, very small blip on their radar, if anything at all, right? We were there for one day out of an entire year, and probably for 3 hours, on a residential. Maybe for a big commercial job, it's a week. But at the end of the day, insignificant. Like you mean nothing to these people. And the only way that you are going to be memorable is, first, obviously, you want to do a good job. You want to leave a good taste in their mouth. And then you need to
Mike, can you give us a few pointers on how to leave good tastes in people's mouth?
No. And then you need to follow up consistently, right? As soon as the job is over, whatever the job is, residential, commercial, find the point of contact, ask to do a walkthrough, because you want to ensure that everything exceeds and meets their expectations. This does multiple things. It shows your professionalism. It shows that you want to make sure that their needs are being met and you're providing the value that you said you were going to provide. And you're not going to get callbacks. And if you do get callbacks, now you're the good guy because you guys did the walkthrough together, right? You were like, hey, yeah, I remember when we walked through here and we didn't mention this, but that's okay. We're going to still, address this, that, or the other. So you're just building more of that relationship, hopefully cementing in the fact that in a year when they need something else done, they're going to remember you, but they probably won't, even with all of that, because again, that's just good business. So now it's your job to stay in contact. And like we said, it's very easy to forget and not to do it because we've got so many other things moving in our business. So let's automate those things. Let's have a follow-up system after an invoice is sent that's going to touch these people, throughout the entire year. It's going to be like, hey, well, I was just, thinking about you. Thank you so much for the opportunity, blah, 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 blah. Don't even try to sell them, right? There's goodwill that you can provide that again, maybe it's Christmas, send them a handwritten note. Hey, thanks so much. Your friendly neighborhood pressure washer. That's memorable. People are going to remember that. But with emails, that's the key, right? Just staying in front of them. Hey, it's been about a year. Just wanted to touch base, see if there was anything else that we could do for you. But stay in contact, stay in front of them throughout the year. But not so much where it becomes annoying.
Mike, I like how you said it like we're Spider-Man. You're a friendly neighborhood pressure
Yes.
washer. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
So I took a couple notes while you were talking. You want to touch them all year round, and then you want to leave a good taste in their mouth. Guys, we give some incredible advice away on YouTube, enough to build businesses. The amount of people that have reached out and they're like, dude, like, thank you so much for doing 200K this year, whatever the case may be, just from the stuff that we've given away on YouTube. But if you want to take it to the next level, if you want us coaching you personally, going into your business, giving you an action plan, giving you the blueprint that you can follow week in, week out, and then looking you in the face and holding you accountable to that, check out the one-on-one coaching down below. I promise you, like, we are changing the game. Just like for Kirk landed a $10,000 job off of 1 week's worth of coaching. And the coaching that we do is multiple weeks. So $50 how to wash course code from this live, said Matt Marshall. You guys do rock, he said. Matt looks like a cool guy. Look at this guy. He looks like he's dressed sharp, man. That's good. It's a good
He is
looking
a
guy right
sharp
there.
dressed man for sure, Justin. That Matt
Right.
Marshall sure knows how to
Make sure you
clean up.
touch him while you're around, Mike. Leave a good taste in his mouth when you do. Do you have a coupon code, Mike, for 50? I think 50 free is available, huh?
I think what he's saying is he wants the course for $50.
Oh, $50 how to wash course code from this live. Oh, okay. He wants the course.
And to that I say, you're not so handsome and sharp dressed now, are you? Because you're not getting that, Matt
I bet
Marshall.
you're a good guy, Matt, but you're
Yeah.
not. Dude, it seems like a recurring theme. Everybody in my life is either named Matt or Mike. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Good
I don't know
stuff.
what that means. What does it mean, Mike?
I don't know.
Who knows? Okay, sweet. So, you guys, if you want to land big commercial jobs like us, let's just go back through it, right? You want to be ready, right? Be knowledgeable, build up momentum for yourself by doing jobs for, residential jobs, because you want to make sure you land the $2,000 job so you can land the $20,000 job. Next is positioning. You want to be where these people are actively looking for the service, right? Whenever you get the call, you don't want to be too excited, okay? Because sometimes it's going to fall through. And if you get too excited, then you're going to start counting your chickens before they hatch. And you might even buy a vehicle before you even land the job. Mike actually knows somebody who bought a vehicle because they were going to supposedly land a big job. I don't think it went through. The next thing is you want to make sure you're saying the right stuff on site, asking the right questions. We didn't get too deep into that because that's some really secret sauce right there. Next, you want to make sure you follow up once you do the quote. You don't want to overprice just because you think you made a good impression. And when you do land it, go above and beyond for those people. That is also the time to upsell. Be sure not to upsell during the estimate because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, and then always make sure that you reservice these customers year over year. I mean, dude, like, Mike, who else is laying out a blueprint like that, man? Like, come on.
We are. You're right. It's phenomenal information.
Go ahead and chat GPT that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can get all of this information on the Google.
I could Google it all. Me and Mike like to make funny voices for the people that try to troll us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gonna do the dollars one, Mike?
I would like for $50. I would like that, and that's a Canadian thing. So the gentleman from Toronto, maybe he says dollar.
Dollars. Mike also really loves when people put the dollar sign behind the money because it, behind the number, because that's what he says. That's how people should put it.
It bothers me so much.
I'm just kidding. Mike never does that. Let's see. Jimp Rex says, I'm getting ready to purchase my first pressure washer and start up my own business. And I've been watching your videos for both information and motivation. Love all the work you guys do for us. Oh, thank you, man. We appreciate that,
Thank
Jimp.
you.
Jimp must be an Xboxer. He might likes to play with the Xbox.
He doesn't
So.
he doesn't partake in the sport anymore?
Mike is the Warren Buffett of pressure washing knowledge.
Thank you. That's probably the coolest thing anybody's ever said.
That makes me Charlie Munger then. Although,
But hey, Jim, you said he's an ex-boxer?
yeah,
You
Jim might
think
be
he
an
retired from boxing?
Jim seems like a guy that would partake in the boxing affairs. Okay, sweet, Mike. Anything else we want to talk about while we're wrapping up this live?
No, I mean, we touched on a couple things, and like any good business owner, you got to sell, right? And we talk about that. Everybody that owns a business is in sales, and don't give away your stuff for cheap. Understand the value that you provide and charge accordingly. And with that being said, no $50 how to wash course. It's worth way more than that, but it is available at pwcourse.com, and you can get that. You can get local domination too. You can get the Christmas light boot camp, and that's actually something that is that you need to start now. If you are thinking about the winter, if you're thinking about slowing down, if you are thinking about the need for business and monetary gain during those colder months when we're not out there washing, you need to go over to pwcourse.com, check out the Christmas light boot camp. I can't even remember how many hours it is, but it is only $299, which actually I need to raise that price, so get it now.
This price will be raised.
Yeah. This is going to teach you everything that you need to know in order to do it professionally, do it efficiently, and do it profitably. Glenn goes through absolutely everything from setting up, cutting lights, what lights to use, how to design everything. Like, this is the ultimate Christmas lighting camp. You don't have to go anywhere to some, training program. It is from your phone, from your computer, and you can get all of the information that you need for a fraction of the price of what your first job is going to cost, because these are $1,200 jobs, probably minimum, and it's a great source of income during the winter season. But this is the time to start, because you need to know what you're doing and you need to start marketing now. It's almost September. That means Christmas lights start to go up around Thanksgiving, if not sooner, and you need to get the books full. You need to start your marketing. You need to start your advertising. You need to start being able to sell so you can stay busy. You can make a bunch of money when it's cold and snowy and you ain't washing.
I love that, Mike. I just thought of a video title, so I just want to write it down.
Oh, good. What is it?
I can't tell you. It's a secret. You'll see it on my channel soon.
Okay.
Also, if you want the one-on-one with me and Mike, this isn't a course. It's not a 1 or 2 day event. It's intensive with Mike and Justin. So be sure to check that out first, in the comment section.
Yeah, and actually, put that back up. That's because that's an interesting thing. There are plenty of opportunities for educating yourself, growing your business. And, Justin and I, we practice what we preach. We invest in ourselves. We invest in our knowledge. We pay, for training. We pay for mentorships and programs that will help our businesses grow. And, if that's something that you're interested in, then by all means, definitely check this out. You apply now. We're going to see, you got to answer some questions. We're going to vet it, and we'll be in contact with those that, are serious and are ready to go. And it's not free. It's not cheap. It is an investment in yourself and your business. And like Justin said, this isn't a course, right? This isn't a how to wash course. This is one-on-one with us. Like in the group that we have right now, I think we've got 4 people, if I'm not mistaken. No, how many is in this one? 6?
Yep.
Okay, so we've got 6 in, and this is a deep dive into your business, into what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what you can do to improve. You don't have to go anywhere for this. You don't have to, pay for hotels and travel and food. Like, we are essentially in your living room with you, making your business the best that it can possibly be. And if that's something that you're interested in, then by all means, listen to what Justin's about to say.
We're building it with you, okay? We're checking in on you week over week. Homework, accountability. Do you want to grow this business? Are you serious about growing this business? Because I'll tell you what, one of the things that you don't have as a competitive advantage is whenever you had a job, you had a boss breathing down your neck. Whenever you run your own business, you don't have that. And so we tend to lean to the things that are the most comfortable for us or the most familiar for us. Me and Mike don't care about any of that. The only thing we care about is getting you the best results possible. And so we will push you out of your comfort zone, and we will push you to do things that you need to do in order to put your business forward. So if you're somebody who's unhappy with where you're currently at, if you feel like you hit up against a glass ceiling, then we will help break you free from that. So that'll be first link in the comment section description. Also, be sure to check out Quote IQ. Only $1. You can try any Quote IQ tier. And when you try this, you're going to get these cool features like InstaQuote, where customers can actually quote themselves on your website. You don't even have to talk to anybody. That's what Mike loves to do. And then once they quote themselves, you have Insta Schedule. They can then schedule themselves on your calendar based on your calendar availability. We have pre-inspections. We got dashboard analytics, review multiplier. Mike, how many guys rave about the review multiplier?
Anybody that uses it, I freaking love it. I've gotten more reviews, and this is not shameless self-promotion. This is like legit. We built a review multiplier, and this was who was this? This was your idea, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I have got review reminders and review requests in my email automation sequences, and they work. But this one is absolutely brilliant, right? Justin had the idea to in the process of paying the invoice, once the invoice is paid, because everybody pays when you're in business, that customer is paying the invoice. When they pay that invoice, as soon as they click send, the payment is processed. You get the little green check saying it was paid. They are then automatically redirected to your Google Business Profile review page, and it just pops up, and it's like part of the process. It's like the next step in paying the invoice. I paid, now I leave a review, and the amount of reviews that we have gotten as a result is absolutely crazy.
Absolutely. So review multiplier, and this is a free feature. You don't even have to pay for this. So if you're somebody who's super cheap, you're just starting your business, get the review multiplier, send your invoices through Quote IQ. With the free version, you can send estimates, invoices, keep track of customers, and collect payments, and you can get a ton of reviews with the review multiplier. So
You got that
obviously
right.
we had to sell, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Take our selling as incentive to sell yourself. Trujillo.
Danny, true.
Trujillo asked, he did a quote for a customer, and he was asking if the price was acceptable. I'll be honest with you, Trujillo, I don't know if we're really going to be doing any. He said he did a quote for a Walgreens, quoted 645, 16 freezer components, included windows, walls, and floors. Is this a good price, or did I overcharge? There's specific things. This is very specific, right, to Walgreens and what they were looking to charge. And so I don't think we could speak to that specifically, but there's things that you are missing in this process, right, Mike?
I don't really even understand. Like I'm the 16 freezer component. 16 freezer component.
I'm just saying within his communications to like we can't tell you whether or not you missed out on this quote, like you misquoted
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. That's a tough one. These are things that I'm not familiar with. So I don't know.
yeah. So Trujillo, did you overquote? I don't know, man. It just really depends on, how bad they wanted it, how much lead flow you had, a bunch of different factors that
Yeah. Also, just I mean, I know from experience, Walgreens, CVS, like Sonic, they are notoriously cheap, and they typically use national cleaning companies that are just basically a conglomerate that will go and get these major bids with all of these national chains, and then just outsource them to guys like us that are out here, and they still need to make their cut. You're like the third layer of profit, and you're the one that's going to be working for cheap. So,
dude, speaking of, I got a call yesterday. They're like, "Hey, we have this what's it called, Mike, where you park in it and it's like a big thing that goes
a
up like
parking
the
garage.
dude, I got a call at a parking garage, and it was like from a contractor, and he's like, "Hey, we got this parking garage. I'm gonna email you over all the specifics on it. I need you to send me a quote." I'm like, "Dude, how many people are you doing this for?" And he's like, "Pretty much everybody." And
Yeah.
so like they just call everybody. And I said, "What are you guys looking for? You want the cheapest guy?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm not really sure. I don't have specifics on that." That's all they want. They want to ship this out to as many people as they can. What's the cheapest quote that we can then price on top of that to make as much money as possible? And then that's how they screw you. So I'm not going to send them an estimate, because they're a bunch of losers. But anyway, it's good to ask those kind of questions. Matt said, "What if I work full-time as well? Is it doable with working a full-time job as far as starting a pressure washing business?"
Yeah, I mean, we just said that. Leverage your current job to provide as you build your new business.
Yeah, let your current job give you stability in order to build your company, dude. On the weekends, what time do you get off of work? Like it's not dark until like at least 8 p.m. here. So if you get off at like 3 or 4, you still got like 4 hours of daylight. So if you want to make it happen, anything you guys want to make happen bad enough in your life, you'll find a way. Okay, and so if making more money, if you need to make that happen, you'll find a way. If it's whatever the case may be. If you want to
Yeah.
play more video games, you'll find a way to make it happen. You know what I mean? So we always make time for the things that are important to us. And if this is something that's important to you, you need to dedicate your life to it. Mike, anything else we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Sweet. We appreciate you guys for hanging out. Mike, what's the word of the day? Every guest that comes on to my channel, I pick the word of the day.
Okay, so because this is my channel, you can pick the word of the day.
Okay, quantum mechanics. If you guys made this far in the video, comment down below quantum mechanics. I'll hashtag your real.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Matt Marshall meant, I mean, the one-on-one coaching. Sorry. Like, can I still make that worth my time? Depending on what your work schedule looks like, we like this current group, we meet Tuesdays at
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m.
The biggest thing is, Matt, just fill out the form and then we'll be in contact with you. Like, we don't even know if you're a good fit right now currently. You know what I mean? The biggest thing is like with this coaching, it depends on how quick you want to grow, right? If you want to figure it out yourself, I would say the coaching isn't for you as I get a call. If you want to figure it out yourself, the coaching isn't for you. If you're somebody who wants to like really like expedite all that learning curve and take it out, dude, like the coaching is for you. And like we don't hold anything back. We basically pull back the curtains and we show you Oz. You know what I mean? Remember that, Mike, from the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, you got to pull back the curtain.
So Matt, fill out the first link in the comment section description. We'll reach out and dude, if it's a good fit, bro, we'll make it work. You know what I mean? No matter what. So, and like I said, we can make you as successful as you want to be. Alex says, great video. Appreciate with what both of you do and provide to everyone in the blue collar community. Can't wait to see more videos. Appreciate you, Alex. Dude, Alex is a bodybuilder. Mike, look at that.
Dude, he's ripped.
Dude, Mike thinks that he's ripped too, but
I definitely do not think I'm ripped. I think I'm a 49-year-old older gentleman that definitely needs to do a lot of work.
well, don't say older, Mike. Distinguished. You know what I mean?
I am a distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, sometimes a gentleman's got to do what a gentleman's got to do. If you guys made this far in the video, comment down below quantum mechanics. I'll hashtag your real. My name is Justin, forever self-employed. Until next time, I'll start and get that money, baby. Peace.